On December 1st, 2018, 22-year-old Grace Millane left her hostel in Auckland at exactly 5:37 p.m., unaware that the man she was about to meet would become the last person to see her alive. Grace had been traveling across New Zealand, documenting her backpacking journey and embracing the freedom of exploring a new country. That evening, she was meeting a Tinder date named Jessie for what appeared to be an ordinary night out. Earlier that evening, Jessie had been seen at a local bar drinking several beers before the date even began. Surveillance footage later showed multiple empty bottles left behind on his table as he prepared to meet Grace. When they finally came face to face, they chose a busy public area filled with people, creating an atmosphere that felt safe and comfortable for a first meeting. Witnesses described nothing unusual about their interaction, and CCTV footage captured them moving from one venue to another as the night progressed. At around 7:15 p.m., the pair visited a Mexican restaurant, where they continued drinking, and by approximately 8:30 p.m., they had moved on to the Bluestone Room for more conversation and cocktails. To anyone observing them, they appeared relaxed and engaged, like countless other couples on first dates across the city. There were no visible signs of tension, no indication that anything sinister was unfolding behind polite smiles and casual laughter. Shortly before 9:40 p.m., surveillance cameras recorded Grace and Jessie entering his apartment building. They were seen riding the elevator up to his room, and this would become the last confirmed sighting of Grace alive. The following day, December 2nd, was Grace's 22nd birthday. When friends and family were unable to contact her, concern quickly escalated into alarm. Calls and messages went unanswered, and as hours turned into days, it became clear that something was terribly wrong. Her loved ones reported her missing, triggering a police investigation that would soon uncover deeply disturbing evidence. While Grace's family desperately searched for answers, CCTV footage revealed Jessie moving and in and out of his apartment building in the hours after Grace was last seen. He was recorded using the elevator repeatedly, at one point carrying cleaning supplies, and later transporting a large suitcase out of the building. The significance of that suitcase would soon shock investigators and the public alike. As police pieced together surveillance footage, forensic findings, and digital evidence, a grim picture began to emerge. Grace had not disappeared voluntarily. She had been killed inside the apartment. Authorities moved swiftly to arrest Jessie, preventing what investigators later revealed could have been another potential tragedy, as he had already arranged another Tinder date in the days following Grace's death. The case sent shockwaves through New Zealand and around the world, raising urgent questions about online dating safety and the hidden dangers that can exist behind carefully constructed personas. What began as a birthday celebration and a hopeful first date ended in one of the country's most high-profile murder investigations, forever marking December 1st, 2018, as the night Grace Millane's journey tragically came to an end.
At 8:54 p.m., the atmosphere between Grace Millane and her date shifts. Surveillance footage shows them leaning in and sharing their first kiss. To Grace, it likely feels like confirmation that the night is unfolding perfectly. Moments later, Jessie excuses himself to the bathroom. During that brief separation, Grace sends what would become her final message to friends, telling them the date is going amazingly well and that she feels an instant connection with him. Her words reflect excitement and trust, the kind that comes when you believe you have met someone genuine. What she does not know is that this is the last time she will ever reach out to anyone. By the next morning, her phone begins lighting up with birthday messages. December 2nd marks her 22nd birthday, and friends and family are eager to celebrate her. Every single message goes unanswered. Hours pass with no response, an unusual silence from someone who had been actively documenting her travels. At approximately 8 a.m., CCTV captures Jessie entering the elevator alone. He briefly glances toward the camera, a subtle but noticeable acknowledgement of its presence. There is no sign of Grace beside him. The birthday girl is nowhere to be seen. Investigators would later determine that during the night, Grace was killed by strangulation inside the apartment. What unfolds next is not panic, but calculation. By 8:07 a.m., Jessie is already in central Auckland, beginning a methodical series of purchases. He visits the warehouse on Elliott Street, where he buys a large suitcase. CCTV footage shows him examining its dimensions carefully, checking the width and depth to ensure it will serve his intended purpose. The purchase is deliberate. This is not improvisation, it is preparation. Roughly 25 minutes later, he enters another store and buys an assortment of cleaning products. The items are consistent with someone planning to remove evidence. After completing his shopping, he returns to the apartment and remains there for several hours. At 10:42 a.m., he reappears on camera. Soon after, he takes a taxi to Apex Car Rentals and hires a vehicle. Each movement is recorded. Each decision is documented. Meanwhile, Grace's body remains inside the apartment. What happens next intensifies the urgency of the case. While evidence of a killing still surrounds him, Jesse proceeds with plans he had already made. That very evening, he goes on another Tinder date with a different woman. As Grace's loved ones begin to fear the worst, and investigators start piecing together her final movements, the man responsible for her death is sitting across from another unsuspecting woman, presenting himself as charming, composed, and completely ordinary. The chilling reality is that without swift police intervention, there could have been another victim.
Given that he had already purchased a suitcase and cleaning supplies earlier that morning, investigators later speculated that the second date may not have been coincidence. When Jesse arrives at the bar that evening, he is wearing the exact same clothing he wore the night before, potentially the same clothes he had on during the killing of Grace Millane. To the untrained eye, he appears calm and composed, but what unfolds during that date raises immediate alarm. According to reports presented in court, he steers the conversation toward deeply disturbing topics. At one point, he allegedly asks his date hypothetical questions about how someone might hide a dead body from police. What may have sounded like dark humor to him triggered something far more serious in her: fear. Her instincts told her something was wrong. She ended the date quickly and left. That decision may have saved her life. Later that night, at 8:56 p.m., CCTV captures Jesse returning to his apartment building carrying a rented carpet cleaner. In his other hand, he holds additional cleaning products. The intent is unmistakable: remove any forensic trace of Grace's presence. For the next several hours, he works inside the apartment, attempting to eliminate evidence. Roughly 30 minutes later, cameras record the outcome of that effort. Jesse reappears in the elevator, this time pushing a trolley stacked with multiple pieces of luggage. Among them is the large suitcase he purchased earlier that morning. The bag appears too heavy to carry by hand. Inside, investigators would later confirm, was Grace's body. He cannot transport that weight on foot through central Auckland, which explains the rental car secured earlier in the day. CCTV footage shows him loading the luggage into the vehicle with calculated efficiency. There is no visible panic, no hesitation. Under the cover of night, he drives away, heading toward a location he believes will permanently conceal his crime. By 7 a.m. the next morning, the city is waking up to an ordinary Sunday. Commuters begin their routines. Cafes open their doors. But in a remote area outside the city, Jesse is carrying out the final stage of his plan, attempting to bury the evidence before anyone connects him to Grace's disappearance. What he does not yet realize is that investigators are already closing in, and the digital trail he left behind will soon dismantle the facade he worked so carefully to construct.